down. Good boy. Take it. So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For anyone who's kind of new to the channel, we're basically training at the moment for Ironman Malaysia. I'm doing the full, Tom's doing the half, and this is basically going to be our last big training day, so we thought that might be quite interesting to follow along with, and we'll probably be in a decent amount of pain.
Like I said, we're about 10 days out, so today's probably going to be the last hard day of training that we do before we fly out. And we've got quite a lot of other stuff on as well, don't we? Because we've got a lot of trip admin to do. A lot of packing. Mainly the bikes. I think if we get the bikes packed today, I think that's going to be a lot off the mind, isn't it? So
yeah, because there's always something that you don't have for a bike. There's always a bolt or something that doesn't quite fit when you try and pack it away. So so hopefully we'll get that done.
The better. Yeah, so plan for the training today, I think, is to do some race simulation stuff. So we're going to do a swim, a bike, and a run today. The goal of the swim is going to be to test out the kit. So Malaysia is going to be a non-wetsuit swim. So we're going to be getting out the swimskins and the tri-suits and swimming in those. Just to try out like how they work, make sure that we got freedom of motion in the arms. I'm going to try mine with the sleeves up but the zip down on the front, and see how that goes, because that's kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to do at the moment, but we might play around with it a little bit while we're in there. And then we're doing a brick session this afternoon where I think mainly we're going to be focusing on, I think the kit is pretty much set up how we want it. We're pretty confident in the kit on the bike to run. But we're going to be focusing on the hydration and nutrition, because we could probably do with practicing that, because it's a very hot race. So,
it's going to be a little bit different to what it seems like is already winter in North Yorkshire. So that's quite different to what we've
I think the fueling and hydration strategy is quite different for this race than it has been for other ones. So I think that's what we're going to test out this afternoon.
So that's basically what we're going to do, and we'll just get on with it now and take you with us.
You actually cleaning something for once?
I've done mechanicking work too. I changed the chain rings and everything. I've done some stuff.
Wow.
Don't take this as you're not doing it all the other times though. Don't take this as a normal.
How are my tyres coming along?
Oh, you just want to show off now? Yeah, I think they're all still up.
They're all still up. So, I fitted this morning two new tyres and resealed one other one, so we've got now super fast TT tyres on all of the wheels that we're racing on. So I'm quite proud of that, because
they didn't deflate.
Yeah, they didn't deflate, and I did all three. I did all three in under an hour.
Formula One style.
And so far there's not sealant all over the kitchen again, because last time it was a proper mess.
No, I'd be really pissed, because I've actually painted some walls as well now.
So I think at least I'm not in trouble.
Then the next 4 on 135, then the next 3 on 130, then 2 on 125, and the last one, we just go as hard as we could and try and get in under 120. Ellie, when she got down to the 130, she was just going to do the rest of it flat on 130s. She managed to do that, and that went really well for her. She was really happy with the swim. She did start with the sleeves up, but in the warm-up was feeling the restrictions, so took them down very early. And that improved her speed by about 3 or 4 seconds per 50, so sort of 6 to 8 seconds per 100 metres. which is a big difference, and I think she found that really valuable to do so. And then she was swimming really well after she moved the sleeves down, so she's definitely swimming with the sleeves down, under the swim skin. For me, the swim really didn't go too great. I did make all of the turnarounds, but I just found the effort level in the swim skin much higher than normal. So throughout training, I've been able to kind of go at that kind of intensity, and I've pretty much flat been doing sort of 115 to 118 per 100 meters for weeks and weeks and weeks. I started with the sleeves up, and the first couple were right at that, felt good, and then I quite quickly started feeling some soreness in my shoulders and a bit of restriction there. Stroke rate was coming down, and I couldn't keep it up, and the pace sort of dropped off. The first two were fine, but the pace then dropped off. For the next couple were just over 120, and then after that was 125. So for the same sort of effort, so I took the sleeves down, did the sleeve back up, and kept going with the set. Again, once I'd taken them down, I was a little bit quicker again, so I was back at the kind of expected pace that I was sort of thinking that I'd be able to do. But again, after a couple of hundreds, that sort of like shoulder fatigue set in really quickly and really quite badly, and the pace just dropped right back down to about 125. I was really tight on the last few turnarounds, and for the last one where I was trying to give it everything, I really had to put in a lot of effort to get in under the 120, like a lot more than I would normally have to do that. So yeah, I was really struggling with that, whether the sleeves were up or down. So at the end, we kind of had a look at it, and I had some really bad red marks on my shoulders where the swim skin was sitting and on my chest. And with a little bit of research afterwards, we kind of figured out that it was two sizes too small. So on reflection, we did buy that swim skin at a race weekend when they made the swim a non-wetsuit swim quite late notice, and that was literally like the only one they had left, and I could get it on, so we kind of went with it, and then I've just never changed it. It's a bit frustrating because I would have liked to maybe have figured that out a little bit earlier, because it's left me with a little bit of a sticky situation. I didn't like the idea of going out without one sorted, so I have ordered one. I'm really hoping it's going to arrive before we have to go. If not, then I'll just have a look at what they've got at the expo and maybe pick something up there and cancel that order that I made today. But yeah, hopefully I'll end up with something that's the right size, and I think that will actually make a bigger difference than whether the sleeves are up or down. For me, I didn't really feel like there was that much difference between the two. What I did notice though was with that Win Republic suit that I'm using, the aero sleeves were really hard to get on when they're wet, so I'm going to need to either have some sort of plan like with a plastic bag to get my hand through the sleeve, or I might use the other tri-suit that we've got, the club tri-suit we've got. I think the sleeves on that are going to be a little bit easier to get on if I do need to have the sleeves down. My inclination is that I'd probably rather wear the Win Republic suit with the sleeves up, and I think with a swim skin that fits, that won't be a problem. So that whole having to order a whole new swim skin process this afternoon and figuring out what I could get on such short notice took a little bit of time out of this afternoon, so I'm starting this one a little bit late. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a brick session with a 1 hour 20-minute bike with some sort of race simulation stuff in there. So we've got some short efforts to kind of get warmed up, and then we are going to do a sort of like race simulation block of about 25 minutes where the power is around race effort, a little bit over, a little bit under. Malaysia's quite a dynamic course, so I think doing bits where you kind of go at power, then over, then under is going to be more representative of what we're going to have to do on the day, so that's what I'm going to do. The main focus of things that we're trying out with this one really is the fueling and hydration strategy. So I'm going to be wearing a jacket, and the heating is on in here, and I think it's about 22 degrees, so I'm going to wear the jacket for the first sort of 30 or 45 minutes to get my core body temperature up. So I'm sweating. Basically, over the heat adaptation process that I've done, my sweat rate has gone up from about 1.2 litres an hour to just over 2 litres an hour, so I'm going to be trying to take on about 2 litres of fluid an hour. I'm going to take on the race level of nutrition today, and then I'm going to see how I run off it. So then we're going to run off the bike. We're going to do 10 times 800 metres on 4 minutes. Pace-wise, I'm hoping I'm going to be able to run pretty well off of that. So I'd like to be able to run the threshold around 3:30ish. If I can't, then I'll be trying to keep them under 4-minute kilometre pace. That got a bit hot.
I think you look like you sweated and you look exhausted.
Yeah. I think that was a good simulation of Malaysia.
It was a cruel set. I'm glad you suffered on it because I was dying.
Sorry.
I think I was doing the Lionel Sanders groaning when I was on the run.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was good. Good session. Hard work. Yeah, it got hot in here in the end. So hot that the humidity made the camera malfunction. So here's take 2, debrief on that session. Overall went really well. I wasn't able to run the 10 by 800 off the bike quite as quick as I'd hoped. I sort of started off about 350 for the first 4, and then I was able to build it back up to about 340 for the last 4. So kind of got stronger once I'd got my legs underneath me a little bit after coming off the bike. But yeah, that sort of dynamic race pace effort at the end of the bike session was 292 average power and 298 normalised for about half an hour, kind of going over and under sort of tempo, up to threshold, back down, tempo, in and out, coming straight off doing that and then getting on my legs didn't really have quite as much as I'd hoped for, but that's just where I'm at. I think if I can run 350s or better off the bike in Malaysia, I'm going to do really, really well. Definitely had the core body temperature up. Was sweating a lot. Managed to get through all the drink on the bike. That was fine, so I can just about do 2 litres an hour. I was a little bit uncomfortable for the first couple of K off the bike, but that faded relatively quickly, so I think I can do about 2 litres. I think that's about where my stomach is at. I can do about 2 litres an hour if I'm working that hard in the heat. So that'll be the goal for Malaysia. Yeah, really good session. Overall average for the bike was 245, normalised 271, and then straight off into 10 times 800, sort of 340 to 350 is really good session. And like I said, definitely got it hot enough in here to replicate Malaysia. So hopefully you've enjoyed tagging along on our race simulation day. It's 10 days until we race in Malaysia. We're obviously working a little bit ahead of schedule on videos, so I think by the time this one goes out, it should be race week. You can track us on the Ironman app, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe for more race week content, and hopefully a good race recap at the end of the week.